Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Fatmata here from Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art. We have another sewing related video today. I am going to do an entire haul, show and tell of all of my Simplicity patterns. Here's why. I just came back from the Hobby Lobby Simplicity and Quick Sew 99-cent sale, and I have not been able to catch one of those all year, but I do know that Joann's, Hobby Lobby, maybe some other stores that I'm unaware of have been putting on quite the sales on patterns this year. I started off 2021 with 6 patterns. I now have more than I would need for the next 6 years. So I have a lot to show you. So I've decided that I want to break up my pattern stash with you guys and show them to you by brand, because I know for me, whenever any of these stores are having their pattern sale, it's often by brand, right? They'll have a McCall sale or Simplicity sale, Butterick, etc. And it's a lot easier for me to go onto YouTube really quickly and type in Simplicity pattern haul and then see what comes up. Then I can watch some of my favorite sewists in the community and then get a sense of really great patterns that I hadn't thought to purchase myself or didn't know about. Because sometimes flipping through the book, you don't really get to understand or see any creative visions beyond the photo that is on the cover and the ones that they choose to highlight. So I do love hearing from other people, maybe what their plans are, how they might hack certain patterns. And that really then sparks my creativity and allows me to say, okay, yeah, I definitely want to add that pattern to my stash. So I'm breaking them up by brand again, because I noticed that the stores do the sales by brand, and I want next time you hear about a sale that you're able to just come review one of my videos and then kind of see if any of the patterns I've picked up are ones that you're missing or would like to add to your stash as well. I'm going to break up this video in 9 different parts. If I can figure out how to do that, like at the bottom of the YouTube videos where they have like sections, these are the sections that I am going to break them up into. So I'm going to start with patterns that I have already sewn up. Then I'll go on to my Mimi G patterns and Sew House 7 patterns. I'll do all of my dresses, my separates, my outerwear, my knits and intimates, my vintage patterns, my selfless sewing patterns that I've got for others, and patterns that I'm not sure if they are out of print. So I'll save that for the end. It's going to be a long video. I have tea, I have chocolate. You can pause this video and grab something if you would like. So grab a pen and paper. What I love to do when I watch these videos for myself, as I'm trying to figure out what patterns I want to buy, I go in my handy dandy notebook, and I have a section in the back where literally these are notes from previous Joann hauls where I write down all the patterns I want. But I go in and I write a list of patterns that I want to pick up as I'm watching videos. So I will do it like as I don't know, I could be sewing, I could be cutting patterns, or just kind of watching it in the background. And if a pattern comes up that I'm really excited about, or I'm like, oh yeah, I want to look into that a little bit more, I just take a moment, jot it down in my book, and then I can always reference it and refer back to it. Then whenever any of these sales come on, I have a list that's already waiting for me, and I know what it is that I want to get, and I don't have to think about it too much. So I hope this helps you as well. All right, so let's start with things that I have already cut into or sewn up. We all know we just got through this blazer. If you saw my red collection video. So this is Simplicity 8955. So it's a raglan sleeve unlined jacket pattern. I did view C. The verdict is still out on this one. I put it away, and it's going to be in my Make It New Before 2022 remakes. I have to fix it. All right, next up is Simplicity 8746. And on this one, I think I did view D. So I did this also in the red collection, so you can watch that video. But this I did along with a really sweet young lady in our community who wanted to do a sewing and fashion sort of industry internship. I did the second leg of that where we actually sewed this together based off of a design that she had come up with. We hacked this pattern and it was awesome. Next up is, I have to get the real number for you. This is Simplicity 9225. And this is one of their newer patterns. I really liked it. I did a version like ad hoc of view A. So yeah, with the little neck detail. So those are all of the things that I have already sewn up. It's not a lot. If you have been watching this channel for any length of time, you might know that this is my first genuine year trying to use patterns in my sewing practice. Last year, bulk of what I made was self-drafted. And because I'm just trying to figure out how to value my time a little bit more, I am trying to utilize patterns to make the process of sewing a bit more easier for me. Let's dive into the Mimi G patterns. So first up, I have this pattern. I mean, you might have already seen this, but how lovely. So it's S9114. I love every single view on this. I've seen individuals on Instagram make the pants, and you can't really see the pants in all of its glory here, but the versions I've seen on Instagram have been lovely, and I can't wait to make that. But this duster, this like button-up dress, I love it. I love every single view on this. So I can't wait to make that up. I like that she's done it in a sheer fabric. You could also do this in opaque and, you know, all of the various fabrics that she recommends. Silky type, sateen, double georgette, organza, sheers, burnouts. I just can't wait. Next up, in line with that, is Simplicity 8985. Come on, look at it. I love the duster on this, and it has a pair of high-waisted pants under. They're more wide leg. Love it. So I have now a more tapered leg from the previous pattern. This is a wide leg, and I love the duster on this also. Then I picked up S8749. So this has a really awesome pair of pants. They are high-waisted. Mimi G, she makes patterns for women with curves, so I love it. But I really loved the coats on this, and I have been on the lookout for a really nice trench coat pattern. I really wanted one that is really tailored, that has princess seams. I have not found that yet. So if you know of a trench coat pattern that has princess seams, please let me know. I just think that is probably the most flattering fit, but until I find that one, I grabbed this pattern at the 99-cent sale when it was at Joann's, and I felt like this was really nice to have. I love how she's made it into like this sort of boyfriend style blazer. I could see myself making that as well. I have a number of wools that I think would be really nice in this. Next up, oh man. So I got Simplicity 8177, another Mimi G pattern. And this one has this awesome unlined coat and vest. It comes with the knit top, and it comes with these high-waisted pants. I don't feel like the image gives it enough justice. So if you could see the line drawing here, hopefully you can see that. But those pants, I think, are gonna be awesome, and I can't wait to make that. I also like the coats. I have a thing for dusters, outerwear. I'm into it, and I love the long line vest. I think this is just so chic and will be really, really nice. I like dressing more on the modest side, so anytime I find patterns that have really nice, long, clean lines, that have wide leg pants, really high collars, or anything like that, I am really drawn to them. So I say that as the next pattern that I got is S9097. S9097. So this is her halter style jumpsuit. I got it for view A for the jumpsuit itself. I could see myself making this and then of course wearing something under it for me. Yeah, I think view B is a lovely dress, but I wouldn't necessarily wear that. But view A, when it was $1, I figured, yeah, I can at least try it out. I think there are various fabrics that I have that would look lovely in that, and then put on a really beautiful blouse underneath it. So again, that's Simplicity 9097. Those were all of my Mimi G patterns. So I want to show you my Sew House 7 patterns next. So most recently, today actually, I picked up this. It's reminiscent. I think it's the same style as their, is it, I've heard it so many times, Burnside bib, I think is what they call it. So I've heard a lot about Sew House 7, and I believe they're like an indie sewing pattern company. Is that the case? But I know they have their own array of patterns, but I like, you know, every once in a while I'll find one of their patterns at Joann's as well. So this is one that I got because I just think it's so darling, and I have some linens that I think would look nice in this. Here is the line drawing of the back. And that's really where I think the magic is. I love the little drawstring detail that they have there. I think it could look really, really nice, casual and comfortable. Really how they styled it in the photos with a nice t-shirt underneath that. And I think this is their same sort of style, the way it ties in the back, as their Burnside bib, which is the jumpsuit but as pants. And I would have loved that. So when I saw this, I thought that's what it was. And then I recognized this is just a skirt bottom. But I'm sure there's a way I could hack that and make it pants at the bottom so I could have the Burnside bib. I've also heard individuals raving about the toaster sweater. So I picked this pattern up some time ago this year. It is 8529 and I got it back when it was a bit colder. But yeah, just some really nice sort of boxy knit sweaters. I like the various views on there, and I think when it starts getting cold again in the fall, I'll definitely turn to this. I didn't get a chance to sew it up this year, back when it was colder, so I'll save that for later. So let's dive into my dresses, and I have a few. So the first up, I have S1277. I love their Amazing Fit line. I think it's awesome that they give you so many different ways that you can customize it and tailor it to your body, which is what I think the joy of sewing is, when you're able to get something that fits you like a glove, or not like a glove, depending on how you want it to fit. You know what I mean? But I loved this because look at how interesting the line details are here. So first of all, you have these inseam like slash pockets, which a dream. I love this idea of color blocking it, and that gave me tons of ideas. I just thought that this was really nice. Initially when I saw it, I thought that this pattern would be for stretch fabrics, and it's actually for wovens, and that made me love it even more. So again, that's S1277. Looking forward to making that up. I got one of the pattern hacking, similar to the Amazing Fit patterns. I love the pattern hacking ones. I just like when patterns encourage you and inspire you to make them your own. And I've actually seen, when I've been on like Moda Operandi, is that how you say that? When I've been on various Pinterest sites and things like that, I've seen a dress, like a ready-to-wear dress that has similar style lines, and I'll show you the line drawings in the back. So there you are. Really, really beautiful. I love that it already has pockets on it. I just think that this could either be color blocked, or you could really have fun with it. Like, look at that ruching. For me, as someone with wider hips, I love anything that kind of gives me a fit and flare look. So I was very happy with this, and that's S8888. Next up, this is new to me today. I picked up 8292, and this is this darling dress. I am a sucker for princess seams. Let's just put that out there. I love a good princess seam because I love the fit that it gives you. So here I am most interested in view A, and I would just not do the cold shoulder. So I'd probably borrow the sleeves of view B and lengthen them, or just put my own sleeves on this to begin with. But I love the fit and flare of view A. Really, really excited about this. And I like the color. Like, this is so darling to me. I would even make this and just lengthen it for me. And the sleeves, probably change that out. But really like this. And I like that it's not just a straight princess seam dress. It does have this sort of right under the bust. It has a seam line there. So I thought that that was interesting too. Oh, so I'm really excited about this. I've seen so many people make this dress and I love it. I love everything about it. So this is S8875. I love what they did with the dress that the model is wearing. I would be making view A's sleeve and just lengthen the gathered bit at the bottom to make it maxi. And I would just toss on something to wear under, like a dickie. So that's how I would wear this, but really, really excited about this dress. Here are the line drawings if you want to see that. Gorgeous. I think it's so feminine, so much fun, and I have a ton of fabrics that I think would look lovely in that dress. Next up is Simplicity 9260, another princess themed dress, but this time it's a princess themed button-up dress, which I actually don't think I've seen all too often, so I really like this. It is uninterrupted princess seam lines, so hopefully you can see that there, from up at the midpoint of the shoulder all the way down to the bottom. I would definitely make view B. I love the sleeves on that. You could either, I could even lengthen it a little bit more if I want it to be a full length sleeve. It has pockets on it. I like the collar detail. It just has some really, really great details there that I think would be perfect for me. So that's S9260. Next up, new to me today as well, is S8594. So what I love about this are the style lines here. Like, I love that it comes to a point. I would just close off. It has a little V neck thing. I don't really need that. I would just close that off so that it is just a rounded neckline, like a crew neck. Up at the top, and I would just lengthen that skirt, and I think that it is beautiful. I would also lengthen the sleeves for me. But these, I know I'm like saying 3 different things that I would change about it, but honestly, for me and just my style of dressing, because I try to dress again a bit more modestly, oftentimes the main things that I'm changing about a pattern are either lengthening or adding sleeves if I don't want to necessarily have it as a layering piece, or lengthening the skirt or bottom of something, or if it's a V-neck, figuring out what I can kind of pair under it. So those are things that are very common to me, so I can kind of see past that on most patterns. So hopefully you're not thinking like, well, that's a completely different dress, why buy the pattern? It gives me really great starting points, because while I loved sort of figuring out and developing patterns on my own last year, it does take some time, and I think maybe I could figure this whole situation out, but I really don't want to. And it's so beautiful, so I think I'm happy that it already comes with that. And if I ever wanted to make a dress where I would just layer like a long sleeve under it, like a button up, I think this kind of cross up at the neckline is gorgeous as well, so I might make that. But this is S8594. Next up, new to me today, is S8735. I picked this up because I don't think I own a woven wrap style dress that isn't like super full in the skirt. So I like that this won't take up too much fabric. Like, for example, view B takes up, for my size, about 2 yards of fabric. And yes, I would still be lengthening mine, right? So it might take a little bit more than that, but some of the wrap style dresses that I've seen have really nice flared outskirts, which I absolutely love, but then that takes up so much more fabric. So I do just really like that this is so clean and elegant, and it is for woven fabric. So I wanted to have this in my stash. That's S8735. Next is S8908. So 8908, and I have picked this pattern up twice. Once I got it, it was the wrong size. I had to take it back. So I was really happy when Joann's had another sale and I was able to get it back again. But I just think it's so classic, and you can do so many things to kind of switch it up. But as it stands, I think it's a beautiful, like, clean lined button up dress. Like, I like how they styled it on the model. It seems like, I can't tell if this is a standing collar. I have not obviously sewn this up or opened it, but I think there's a lot that I can learn about through this pattern. I have not done a button placket yet in all of my sewing. I try to stay clear of those, but I do want to make a shirt dress at some point. You've seen I have quite a few of them that I've gotten already, so hopefully I'll be sewing one up soon. I had to get this dress when I saw it, had to. So this is one of the newer Simplicity Cynthia Raleigh patterns, S9098. The sleeves, like, this dress is gorgeous. And one thing that I didn't necessarily realize until I went over on Instagram and saw some of the views that folks have sewn up is that you could do like a contrasting band on this little line detail here. And I love that. So I'm really excited to give this a go. I have a lot of ideas of ways that you can hack and kind of update and modify this pattern even more, but I'm really excited. But I love the flowiness of it, and I like that you get the cinching in with the belt, because otherwise the dress is quite free-flowing. The last dress I have to show you is S9223. And I got this dress because for the life of me, I have not been able to find a true French dart dress. I don't know where they are. I thought that they would be in the vintage sections, and I have yet to find them. I thought maybe I would find them in like evening wear, and I haven't seen them. So if you know a good like French dart pattern, let me know, please, because I think it's such a beautiful type of silhouette and dress and dart. But I'm just really curious of, like getting a pattern that uses them so that I could learn a little bit more. I tried to self-draft one last year that I just don't think I got the fit right. So I do want to see what it looks like on, a big four or just a ready-made pattern, so I can see maybe where I went wrong and fix that. But anywho, when I saw this pattern, I was looking as best I could, and Simplicity in their like line drawings, they just had this little like slash, and I couldn't tell if they were just saying like, oh, the fabric just sort of bends, but that is a French dart. So when I saw the actual model wearing this, I could see the French dart kind of coming down from her bust, coming and slanting out, and the dress has pockets. I could care less. Like, I do not like this pleat detail on the other side, but I figured they have a seam right down the middle. All I would do is just cut out my fabric twice for the side that has the French dart and then just make my dress that way, and then forget about the other half of the dress. That's what I'm thinking. I could lengthen this, again, lengthen the sleeves, but I love it. I love where the neckline hits all the way up. So those are things that I look for, and I will be able to see a French dart in action. So I'm actually really looking forward to sewing this up. Now seems like a good time for like a tea break, But yeah, are you enjoying the pattern so far? I love them. All right, next up, we're going to talk about the separates that I have. So this is another one where I'm going to have to dig inside to find out what the actual pattern number is. So this is Simplicity 9231. It's one of their newer makes, like, I don't know how they split up their seasons, but it's one of the newer ones. I really like this as a blouse, but I was also thinking all I would have to do is like lengthen this and make it into a dress as well. But I love just this really nice high collar detail. It has these small darts in the back of the neck, which I think is really interesting. Again, because of my preference of dressing, I always gravitate to things that have really interesting high neckline details, because I find that that's where I really struggle. They're really beautiful like V-neck designs and all of that stuff. But whenever there's a really nice high neckline that has something that's a bit more interesting about it, aside, you know, from it just being like a mock neck or a crew neck, I'm really drawn to that because it'll give me some added pizzazz in my wardrobe. So I was really excited about this, and I think it's great. So that's S9231. Oh, I was really excited about this too. So this is Simplicity 9184, and I love this little vest. I think I was just drawn to the lady on the cover. I love how they paired this. I really like this monochromatic look. And I think the pants are elasticated at the waist. At least they are in the back for sure. Yeah, they're elasticated in the waist all the way, but it still looks work appropriate. So it's like secret pajamas maybe. I don't know, but I'm into that. Then I got these sort of like track pants. I had made myself a loungewear set last year that I was into, and I traced off like my Adidas, one of my favorite Adidas pants, track pants that I have, but I didn't really love the way that the pants came out. I think I tried to expand it more to make it more slouchy since it was loungewear, but I want a pair of proper like track pants, and these kind of were really reminiscent of my Adidas pants, so I figured I'd give this a try. So super comfy, lots of different views and fit styles, so you could have it like a wide leg or slim cut, and the ones at the bottom. So I felt like it was just a good one to have in my stash. This is Simplicity 8801. It's this like jumpsuit, and they have it for a mini. My mini is way too mini to wear any of these, but one day, you know, she might be big enough and we can be matchy-matchy. So I have to keep this pattern, but I felt like this is nice, even as, you know, of course, like loungewear. But if you do it in proper fabric and possibly just don't cuff the bottom, I couldn't see why you wouldn't be able to just wear it as a real jumpsuit outside. Then this is a proper jumpsuit, and I got this one because I wanted a jumpsuit that was made out of a woven that again had a, you know, a modest neckline, so a higher neckline. And this one is a dolman, or like, yeah, a dolman sleeve. So I feel like it's gonna be the easiest thing to cut out and whip together, I hope. And it's elasticated at the waist, so you get that little bit of definition. I'm into this. I am really excited about it. That's Simplicity 8907. They do have 12 pieces, so it could be quite involved, but you know, it's a jumpsuit, so, and it has the belt and all of that. I'm excited about this. Relaxed fit. I could see this in a linen. I have some linens that I think I'm gonna earmark for this. And this one seems really fancy, I know, especially when we've been in lockdown, but I'll explain. So this is Simplicity 8597. As I've mentioned to you already, I love a good princess seam, and this is a princess seam skirt. So here are the line drawings in the back there of the back of the skirt. And I actually have a skirt that has princess seams made of African wax print fabric from when I went back home, and I love it. And I think depending on the fabric, yes, if you use a sateen, it'll look really formal, like you're a bridesmaid or you're going to prom. But I think in other fabrics, you'll just get a really beautifully fitted skirt. And once I know what my sort of measurements are, I could add the skirt to the bottom of any sort of top and make a really beautiful dress as well. So excited about this. So those are all of like my separates and jumpsuits. Let's dive into my, what did I say? My jackets and sort of outerwear layers. So next up is Simplicity 1108, and this is new to me today. I have been on the lookout for a nice sort of like kimono, abaya, open, how do they call this? Yeah, Mrs. Kimono in different length variations. I'm all here for view C. That's what I've been looking for. And I could just as easily self-draft this. I absolutely agree, and I know that, which is why I just got it today, because I've been, every single time I go to any of these sales, I'm like, don't pick up a kimono. You can make that. You can make that. And I can, but honestly, guys, again, my time, I'm finding that whenever I tell myself to self-draft things this year, I don't want to do that. So for $1, for 99 cents, I figured I'm going to pick it up. I'll have the different styles. And I do like, if you can see in the line drawings here, they have the kimono style that has the sort of drop shoulder, and then it has, you know, the really loose fitting sleeve. But then they also have these other sort of bat wing or like dolman sleeve styles, and it has some gathers here. So it makes this really nice sort of billowy look that you'll see, and that's what the models are wearing. So I can see myself making any one of these views, and I'm happy to have it. So the next pattern I actually liked so much that I got it twice and I didn't even realize it. So that's why we're doing this video also, because I am planning my next collection. I want to finally match the fabrics to the patterns, and I need to recall, I need to remember and become very familiar with the patterns that I have in my stash so I can properly organize them, so I don't do this where I buy it twice. So this is pattern S8989. I mean, just look at how classy she looks. Look at how happy she looks in this. I love it. It's a relaxed fit. I like that it's slightly drop shoulder. I love view A. And I think the pocket, how they have the pocket kind of right within that seam as a slant pocket, is gorgeous. And that's one of the reasons why I was really excited to get this. So these two, they're similar, but they're not the same, okay? So next up we have S8554. I love Simplicity's Easy to Sew collection also because you learn so much from the pattern. So the fact that it was easy to sew made me really happy. And I love the view that she's wearing. So that's view A. I love the length of it. I like the fit. I love the collar. So I'm sure I'm gonna get to learn a lot about how this is made. I like that they made it in such a flowy fabric, which again makes me feel like I can double this as not only like an unlined fall, late spring jacket, but also like a duster. And finally is this cardigan. This is Simplicity 8742. So Simplicity 8742, and I love the view that she's wearing again, view A. And I know that they call this a Mrs. Cardigan, but honestly, I feel like if you used a wool or something a bit heavier, that would be a coat. And I love that. So I think it's really, really nice. I was drawn to the color, like, great job with the packaging there, Simplicity. So those are all of my outerwear and jackets. Let's move on to my knits and intimates that I've gotten. I hope you're still here. I know it's lengthy, but I figured there were so many other ways I could have done it, like dresses, and broken it up so much more. But sometimes I really just prefer if I could watch someone have it on in the background. If I'm saying something that you feel like resonates with you, or you see the pattern, you glance up, you see the pattern and you're interested, again, just write that note, list it on your running list of patterns, and anytime you catch one of these sales, grab them, okay? So this is Simplicity 8982. I like that it has so many different views. They have a really nice high neck, long sleeve shirt. I'm sure I could use that so much. I love view C. I think the line drawing makes me feel like really excited about it. I don't love, maybe it's just the type of knit that they have here, maybe because it's a bit chunkier and the way the cuff is. I would have to see it made up for myself. So I felt like it was okay to get. Those are really like the dress, the top, and the other blouse are really the ones that I'm most interested in. The next one is this sort of like set. I love when I get these like wardrobe sets that has a bit of everything, but I was really interested in the dress. So this is it on the model here. And I liked it because it, again, it's that like dolman sleeve, really wide sleeve. It seems like it would be a dream to sew up, super simple. And I like that they have it in this top as well, the wrap top, a skirt, and a pair of pants. And the pants seem like a really nice straight leg. It's not super tight like a jegging, and it's not bell bottoms, right? So I really like the fit and all of these different views. That's Simplicity 8925. Then I have been in need of a bodysuit pattern, so I was really excited to finally pick this up. This is another one I saw on someone's haul, and I was like, oh, Simplicity has a bodysuit pattern, and I love the various views, but for me, the one that is a go-to would be view D and view B, which the model is wearing. So I like those, of course, again, because of the neckline. That's more in line with how I would wear it, and I would do the sleeves, like the long sleeve that's on A and C. I would just do that. I'm not a huge fan of like this bell sleeve, but you know, teach his own. So Simplicity 8513. I think this is just a really nice classic one. I am not sure if this has snaps on the bottom. Let me see the notions. Elastic. Okay, 3 small snaps. Yes. So it does snap at the bottom. So this is nice. You know, bodysuit that you could get in and out of. I want to make some of these so that I could wear them maybe under dresses. If I'm wearing something that has a V-neck and I want coverage there, so I could see myself making a nice bodysuit in various colors so that I could wear it that way. So I could also make it sleeveless, just so I throw that on and get the coverage where I need it. Then I wanted some legging patterns, so I picked this one up. It is 8561. And you could see the line drawings here. So lots of really amazing details. This is definitely like workout leggings, in my opinion, or because it has pockets, like this would be great when I'm out with the kids if I'm wearing like a tunic over it or something like that. I could see this. But yeah, I have some spandexy or stretchy fabrics that I can make some nice leggings out of, so I was excited to get that. But then I wanted like classic leggings, high rise, that sort of thing. So I picked up this set, which is 8424, and I love it. It's like the most epic ultimate ballerina set. So they have all of these amazing views. They have this legging is what I'm most interested in here. Although I would give the little wrap legging a try also. And I love this sweater that she has on. So I'd be willing to try that. And possibly I would, you know, try the cami if I had some leftover fabric for wear, you know, at home and things like that. But that's S8424. So if you're looking for like a nice classic pattern, you know, leggings pattern, I picked this up because it doesn't have all of those style lines. I wanted something that would be use the least amount of fabric for leggings. I can make really, really easily on the overlocker, and I feel like this is that. Next up, the intimates. So this is like a whole bed set. So I like different, I feel like I've gotten different like nightgown, or what is the word that I'm looking for? Nightgown. What do you wear at night? Yeah, like nightgown sets. I don't know. But this, I love that it has the robe, it has the pants, which you could cut off and make shorts. It has the like bralettes and cami and just different things that I feel like is the perfect full set. So that's 8800. So if you're looking for like a nighttime set, definitely, I haven't made it yet, but I would recommend. Like, this is what I picked up. I like it. Then finally is 8228. So this is like a bralette set, and I got it for the view that she's wearing, view A up here, just because it's super casual and easy looking. It's not like a full bra with all the underwire and all of that, but just something that you could whip up for wearing at home. So those are all of the knits and intimates that I've gotten. So let's move on to my vintage patterns. Come to mama. All right. I love vintage clothing. I love thrifting and that sort of thing. I just think that the fit of vintage clothing suits me and my body type so well. I wanted to show you some of the ones that I've picked up and I can't wait to make. So here from the 1940s remake is S8736. I love a good top pattern. I love them so much. I love this view right here. Do you like, look at that. I like that the shoulder seam comes a little bit forward. It has these really lovely gathers right there. You can make the little Peter Pan sort of collar, or you could just have this nice little ruffle if you'd like. Here are the line drawings for, what? Here are the line drawings for the back. So I didn't know, but it like tailors in at the back, which again, another interesting detail that you find in vintage patterns. So I like that. I'll take you back to the 1930s. So this is one of those, you know, sleeve additional add-on packs, and this is S8506. I liked it because it gave me, again, just sleeve variations. This year has been big with sleeves, so I figured any pattern, even if I was just using one or two of these, it was worth having. And the ones that I like the most are views A, D, and C. B I find really interesting. I would have to lengthen that sleeve more, but I love how it has so much volume at the shoulder, and some of these are a bit more slim at the shoulder, like this view here, but that drama in a longer length I think might be something that I'd be willing to try and add on to a bodice of my choice. Then I had to get these two 1970s patterns. So here, I fell in love with this dress. I cannot wait to make something this flowy and swishy. Whew. So this is S8013. I love it. It's so much drama, and I love the view that she's in. Like, that's what I want. And again, I have that bodysuit pattern, so this is one of those where wearing the bodysuit would come in handy. But I think this is lovely. This fabric, you can see how thick the package is. This takes up a heap of fabric. This is 8013 again. And this pattern, while I love it and I adore it and I can't wait to make it, I'm afraid of it because of how thick it is. It takes up for view C and D, which those are the, views that I would be interested in making, the full length ones. Those take up, if you're using 45-inch fabric, at minimum 10 yards of fabric for the smallest size. Then for a 60-inch fabric, you're looking at somewhere about 7 3/4 of a yard. 7 yards, 7 to 8 yards of fabric for 60 inches wide. It's a lot of fabric. So if I score the jackpot and I can thrift some fabric that just comes with a heap of the same fabric, I could see myself digging into this. Or what I think I would most likely do, because I recognize that a lot of that, because I had to open up the envelope and see the instructions just to figure out why do you need 10 yards of fabric. And what I discovered is that really it's all of the gathering that's happening in the skirt to make it that full. And while I love how dreamy that looks on her, I don't need it to be that full if that's the case. Like, if I can whip this out of 4 yards or 5 yards of fabric and just make that skirt less full, I'm willing to do that. So that's this pattern. And then we have another 70s pattern remake, which is S8505. These gorgeous caftans. And I love these. I think they're so easy breezy. So when I look at the line drawing for the back, especially a view B, I'm like, they folded that fabric in half and then cut in a neck, but that's not the case. I know that. So when you look at the front of this, there is some detailing here. So let's give it that. It's just not folded over and, you know, cut out a neckline. So I felt like, you know what, it would make sense for me to get it just to understand the instructions of how they put together that front piece and then ruched all of the other fabric together. And even if I don't cut out like the full pattern piece, because I feel like it's just going to be a really big rectangle and I don't need to cut that out. I can eyeball that, but I would at least cut out the pieces for that like center business here and then wing the rest of it. That's what I see happening with this. The final vintage pattern that I have is new to me today, and this is S8876. Look at how cute she is. I think this like hip, and I'm not one to like add any extra bulk to my hip area. It's probably the last thing that I want to do, but tell me this isn't fabulous. She looks amazing. And yes, it is, you know, strapless. But again, this is one of those styles where I feel like you pair this with a really beautiful crisp button up and you look fabulous. I like the length of it. I could lengthen it even a little bit more. It has like the slightest little slit that happens right below the knee. So I feel like I could extend that to midi T-length and wear that with heels, sort of how they're doing here, or cut it at this length and wear it in the fall and winter with, again, layering a button up under it and tights, and I feel like I'm good to go with that. So those are my vintage patterns. I do have other vintage patterns that I've thrifted, but that will be its own separate video because I have lucked out at the thrift stores and they are so amazing, and they're actual vintage patterns. Like some of them people have written notes on, and you know, some are factory folded and have never been opened, and I cannot wait to dig into them, but be on the lookout. That's going to be a future video as well. But these are the Simplicity Remake vintage patterns. We're almost to the end, guys. Thank you for hanging in there. And so next up, I have my Selfless sewing. These are all my Selfless sewing. So what that means for me, at least, I typically just sew for myself because it's my me time. But, you know, one day I know I'm going to branch out and maybe like I'll sew something for my husband. So every once in a while, when I can, I try to pick up some patterns that I think I would feel confident in making for him. I just got to get to that level of like sewing for other people and sewing men's clothes. I have never sewn a men's garment that I can think of. I've altered men's garments, but never like sewn from scratch. So we're getting there. But when that time comes, I love this bomber jacket. Like, look at this. So this is one of those with the new numbers. So let me get the actual number for you. This is Simplicity S9190. I love it. It's so cool. I think I really like this. I don't know, the way it's styled here. I like the fabric that they used for his. So I think I'm going to, when I try to make one for my husband, try to find a fabric similar to that and do that. And then we got this one, which I'm really excited about because I've been looking for like a classic men's raglan sleeve t-shirt because I feel like that could be a nice entry into making clothes for my husband. And I loved this one. So I'm really excited. I like that he did this mixed print thing. I don't think I could get my husband to wear a mixed print, but we could go with like view B or make view C just regular. And I think this would be really nice. Raglan sleeves are always a really nice way to kind of ease into anything because you don't have to do a fitted, you know, set-in sleeve. So I'm all about that. Then we have men's trousers, and I got S9043, another Mimi G style, Mimi G's husband's brand. And I just felt like the lines on this were super sleek and simple. It does have the like pleats in the front, as you can see. I'll have to see about that. I think it's really going to be based on like what fabric I use. But if I can find a simple fabric, I think I'd be able to get away with this. And this is another one. I do have two, but this isn't because I like forgot like I did before. This I intentionally got two because I've never like measured my husband. And when I was there at the store that day, I figured, you know, just get both sizes. Maybe one day I'll make my dad something. I don't know. But I have to work my way up to this. This is a blazer, okay? This is a full suit. I haven't even made a full successful blazer for myself. So I know that this is going to take me some time to make. But again, I think if I start off with that raglan sleeve, do a simple trouser, maybe one day he'll be getting a full suit. I think we already have the fabric from my G Street fabric haul that's possibly earmarked for this. This beautiful like ecru color fabric that I had found, and I promised my husband that I'd make him something out of that fabric. So it'd be really awesome as a suit, but probably won't have that for some time because I have some practice to do before I can sew something like that up, I think. All right, so the final set of fabrics, wow, that was a lot of fabric. Well, not fabric. The final set of patterns that I have to show you are the ones that I like. I don't know if these are still in print. And I say that because most of these I picked up either for like a penny when Joann's does their like, you can get, I'm really assuming that these are the patterns that they're trying to just like get rid of. And I'm guessing it's because they're out of print or they're gonna do something with them, get rid of them somehow. But yeah, so I picked up most of these either a really long time ago at a similar sale. So you'll see like they have little marks on them, like I don't know what that means. But these are the things that they kind of put out when you buy 2 yards of fabric or buy some fabric, and then you can pick up the pattern for like a cent. So I picked up this pattern years ago. So this was in my original like 6 patterns that I started this year off with. This was one of them. And I think I got it because I really liked this like overcoat, this little thing. I like that it came with pants, right? Elasticated pants. And it has this shirt. Simple. It's a full wardrobe right here. Full outfit. So I really like that. Oh, I should have included this in the patterns that I've already used, right? Yeah, I made this last year. So this is S8834, but again, I got this a bajillion years ago. And then this year, actually, when I picked up some of these other 1-cent patterns, this was on the chopping block. So I don't know if they're getting rid of this, but I love it. So if you haven't already snagged this, if it's still available, 8834, I think this dress is so darling. And it taught me how to do these like front ties, which was different than how I thought they were made. So I like that. I picked this one up honestly because it was a penny. I went back and forth about it, but then just figured have it, and then if I really don't want it, at some point I can, you know, send it to the thrift store or my cousins. I know people who are trying to get into sewing, so I can give this to someone if I really don't care for it. But this is 8689. This is 8689. And I think why I liked it, again, something with a high neckline. It has the buttons down the front. It has like an empire waist almost. I like that they used all this awesome trim on it. So I really think it's the one that the model is wearing that stood out to me. I would, of course, lengthen this to maxi length if I were going to make it. And I think maybe that's why I'm hesitant about it. But I could also just put multiple tiers so that it's not just, you know, empire waist and then full maxi. I would probably just add another tier right here of more gathers. But yeah, into this a little bit. Still on the fence about it, but for a penny, I figured I could be on the fence, think about it. If I really don't want it, someone else can benefit from that. This was another one that I recently picked up. You see the big red mark. They were trying to get rid of this, but it's like a classic cardigan. Why would you want to get rid of this? I don't even remember seeing this when it used to be in the drawers, so I'm glad that they took it out. But classic cardigan. I have a number of knits that I think would be perfect for this come fall, you know, when we're getting into sweater weather, I would be really excited to make this up. And I got some buttons recently that I can't wait to put on a lovely cardigan. I like that they color block this, so I would consider doing that. Another amazing fit dress. So I was interested in this one. This one was another one that I questioned. I think I went twice and saw it, passed it up the first time, then the second time around I figured I might as well get it. But when you see it on the model, like the way that this ruching is, I can't tell if I love it or I hate it. But this is S8734, another amazing fit pattern. I would most likely just close off this neckline, this little dip or V slash neckline I don't need. So I would just close that up all the way. This, if I wore it like in the fall and winter with high boots, you know, knee-high boots and things like that, I would probably wear something like this to work with like a blazer over it or something like that. I don't know. Again, on the fence about this one, but I'm willing to share, right? If someone I'm working with wants to learn and wants to use that. This was something I got purely because it was a scent, but I think it has really great style lines on it. This is S8891. Another sort of like dolman sleeve-esque. You can see by the line drawing that there is no, you know, set in sleeve. It kind of just continues on. I like that. I like how they have those sort of fish eye darts in the back to give it shaping. Very interesting. So I feel like you can make A, add another tier, or just lengthen that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But it is a button front dolman. Is there another word for that? I think it is dolman sleeve dress. The origami dress purely because it was a scent. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to love this, but I think I have to open up the envelope to really understand what it's doing. But I think it's like a faux two-piece. I don't know. I don't think I love this, but someone might. Like, I think you do this, like it has the inner part. You could see it a lot better with the two different fabrics. So it has the inner dress, and then I think this is, you just tie it in front. Like, you see the back, the line drawing? So curious to see. I'll open it up, investigate, we'll have to see, but I'm sure someone I know would love this. So for a penny, I'm glad I have it for them, but I don't know that that's for me. I love this skirt. I remember having a skirt similar to this, but it was maxi. That I don't know where it is, but something that's just like a straight skirt like that, I think is classic. Unfortunately, they did not have my size, so I did end up getting, or maybe this is my size for at least the skirt for the hip part. Yeah, actually it is. So I think for the skirt, it's going to be my size. I think for the dress, if I wanted to make the dress, it would definitely be too big. So I have to use all of my, you know, self-drafting skills and figure out how to take the top half of the dress and grade it down significantly if I wanted to make the dress. But I think in order for me to wear that dress, there'd be a lot of layering that would have to happen. I don't know if it's worth it. So the skirt it is, and actually I think that is the right size, so never mind. I'm very happy now. I picked this up mainly for the leggings. I really do not care for the tops, but at that point I had not picked up the leggings that I have just shown you. So these were going to be the leggings that I use, and they're knit leggings, but I think they have a zipper in the back, which, yeah, they have a zipper. So yeah, they're like jeggings, I guess, because they want you to use more like a ponte knit, something that doesn't have an excessive amount of stretch, it seems like. So yeah, that's interesting. But now that I have my super cool legging pattern. I don't know that I need this one as much anymore. But yeah, something that someone else will benefit from. And this is another vintage one. So I didn't put it with my other vintage patterns because, again, red slash, I don't know if this is going to be available. But look at how darling. I think you can see it more like on the little drawings of the vintage pattern. I love that it's like one piece and you wrap it over. I know this isn't going to be everyone's cup of coffee, and that's okay. Cup of tea. And that's okay, but for me, I like view A with the long sleeves, obviously, and then I would make it long. But it's something that I want to see it made up. Like, I want to see the ease of this style. I think I could be into it. I'm really excited. It's a lot of patterns. I started off this year with 6, and I have only shown you the simplicity patterns. There's a lot. So I am really excited though, because that means I have tons of options of things that I can make. It does become a bit more daunting because now I'm like, well, what do I make? And then I go through this whole thing trying to now figure out what to make, but I do have options, great options. So I am going to pack these up, and then I will be back to do my McCall's pattern haul for you of just all the McCall patterns that I've been, you know, acquiring over the year. And yeah, hopefully that will inspire you as well. I hope you were able to take note of maybe some patterns that you had not considered or you don't have in your stash that might work well in your pattern stash. If nothing else, I hope I kept you company or entertained you. But yeah, please comment down below if any of these patterns kind of stood out to you, if you have any of them and you can't wait to work with them as much as I can't wait to work with them. And let me, so subscribe down below if you want to see the other pattern hauls that I have coming for you, because I am going to sit in this same outfit and record the other ones so that I can get these out to you in a timely fashion, so that the next, you know, sale that comes your way, you are ready, you have your patterns written down, and you know what you want to go out there and get. Please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.